Hi everyone, hope you're all doing well, and today we're going to take a look at some of the stock news that happened with these 5 companies, over the weekend kind of, and also on Monday. Now, I was kind of debating like what video I should actually make, because I was like, I could talk about Tattoo Chef, but I was like, there's analyst day coming up tonight. I think it's at 6 p.m. UK time, 1 p.m. Eastern time, so I think that's that time that's happening. But I was like, I could talk about that, but I thought there's Tattoo Chef Analyst Day, I'll probably end up talking about that. And then obviously Tattoo Chef Thursday, so I was like, I might talk about it. There's a news coming out about Dropbox, Hollywood Bowl have their earnings, and I was like, there's so many companies that I could make a video about. I thought, let's just all shove it in one video and get through it all. But yeah, we'll take a look. And like I say, Tattoo Chef, I probably will, maybe if Analyst Day moves the company, I might talk about it. Or if there's some surprise news, I might talk about that. But I also want to do Tattoo Chef Thursday. But anyway, we'll take a look at these 5 companies. So if you could smash the like button, that'd be absolutely amazing. If you are new, subscribe would be really good. And if you do want to buy any of these companies, I've got links in the description to buy them on some stockbrokers like eToro, like Trading212, like DeGiro. So you can go on them platforms and buy these companies. But hey, we'll get stuck into the video. So first off, Tattoo Chef. And like I said, I don't want to spend too long on it because there's Analyst Day coming up tonight, and I might make a video on that. Obviously, there's Tattoo Chef Thursday coming up. But because of how well this company has done over like the last kind of few days, I thought like it was worth just touching on it. So obviously Tattoo Chef has been amazing the last few days. I'm currently up like 20+% on it. I know some of you guys are up on it quite a bit as well. I've been recommending this stock for quite a long time at the moment, but it's really starting to get some attention. And if you were buying in them really low average range, I think my average is about $16. You're up quite a bit on your position, and I've had a few messages on like Instagram. By the way, my Instagram's in the description as well. Sometimes I get a few messages from you guys on there. I try to get back to every message I can. Sometimes, obviously, I'm sure you can appreciate I can be a bit busy doing my day job, running this private stock market group and trying to make YouTube videos. It's sometimes a little bit tricky, but I do try to get back to every message. But yeah. Obviously Instagram as well, I was getting a few messages from you guys saying how much you're up, and yeah, it's been on an absolute amazing run. And really, I think when people are asking me like, what is the catalyst really? Well, I think that the stock was just so cheap. Like, you know, you were paying like 800 million for a company with like 200 million revenue. I was like, this is just crazy cheap. And as well as that, I think that there's been a lot of influencers on the YouTube scene that have stepped into this company. I think that first of all, you had Financial Education, or Jeremy. He made a list of 20 stocks to buy, I think it was, or 25 stocks to buy. And the number 1 stock on there was Tattoo Chef. Now, I've kind of known for a while actually that Jeremy was looking to buy Tattoo Chef, but I thought a bit of respect, I wouldn't post it on the channel, obviously, because that's something a little bit private. But I knew he was very interested in this company, and obviously that he's looking to buy it, or he has started buying a couple of shares in it. Obviously, he influences so many other YouTubers, at least 30 with over like a million. 100,000 subscribers, not a million. I was thinking of Meet Kevin then. Yeah, it probably influences like at least over 30 other YouTubers that have over 100k subs. And when you have that much influence, and then they start talking about it, and like Meet Kevin starts talking about it, which he said he's buying as well, which I think he started buying above around $19 now. Just saying, we were in there at $16. Hey, but anyway, when you get them sort of influencers all coming together, obviously so many investors watch their content. I mean, at 6k subs, I can't really we're near 6k subs. If you smash that subscribe button, we might get there a little quicker. But with them guys that have a million subs and 100k subs, they're like putting their videos out to so many people and so many investors that's obviously going to influence the stock, because then they're going to go talk about it. It's like that chain reaction. It's like a domino effect. So with them guys coming on the scene and talk about this stock now, that's obviously going to shove it up. There's so many more investors that are now aware of Tattoo Chef. So yeah, I mean, I think the whole reason why the stock's been on such a good run the last few days, since the turn of December, is because of these guys and stepping in, which is a positive, I guess. Having so many people, influencers, come into your stock, it's absolutely amazing. But yeah, I mean, let's just have a minute for the shorts that were putting the short report out early December. I think they're a little bit gutted right now as well. So hey, we'll move on to the next one, which is Dropbox. So Dropbox has been on a good run. I think a few of you guys are asking why I didn't put it on the video yesterday. I just think because it's just been on such a good run. And I don't think it'll ever go back down to attractive prices now. I guess that's probably the reason why. Still not a bad price though. And yeah, Dropbox got linked with being bought out. I personally don't know if this will go anywhere just yet, but if you guys have been on the channel for a very long time, when I started buying Dropbox in 2019, you guys know that on that video when I talked about buying Dropbox and why it will go to $40 in the next 2 to 5 years, I said that one of the potential things that could happen with this company is a buyout, because you look at the growth, you look at the balance sheet, you look at the market cap side of it, and you're like, this is such an attractive purchase for someone. You know, I mean, I don't know exactly who would actually come in and buy it. You know, there's potential loads of people who wouldn't mind having Dropbox. I mean, even maybe Adobe, but you know, Dropbox at this sort of valuation does make sense to buy out. I've said it for a year now. You know, Dropbox, it does make sense for someone to come in and buy that company out for that growth you get, the revenue, you know, profitable, great balance sheet. It totally makes sense for Dropbox to get out. Will it get bought out? I mean, it's one of those, you don't know. I think that we'll see what happens. Normally when we do get these sort of news, you know, it does make, you know, the stock does pump up and eventually does come down. That's the other thing that I would say be careful of, but hey, we'll see if that goes anywhere. Number 3 is Huya. So there was a little bit of news that came out that the Chinese watchdog were looking into Huya and Douyu's merger deal, which when I saw it, I thought, I could see why. Now, there wasn't too much details in there, but I thought, well, the problem is you got Tencent. And by the way, Alibaba and Tencent just got fined as well for previous like mergers and acquisitions. But if you look at it, the fine was like really cheap. It was like 70k or something like that. You know, imagine that, like giving Alibaba like that fine. They're just like, yeah, there you go. I had it in my pocket. It's nothing to them, but hey, you know, at least people say that, you know, these Chinese companies don't operate to like a fair standard. You can see they do, you know, with these sort of things. We saw it with the Chinese Starbucks the other day, which the name has just escaped me. I think it's not Dunkin' Donuts. The name's just totally gone out of my head. But there was a Chinese, you guys probably know who I'm on about. There was a Chinese company that came out, Looking Coffee, there we go, we got there. Them guys, obviously they got investigated and they got punished big time. So, you know, these Chinese companies do operate to good standards, you know, don't worry about that. You can see that with the fine with Huya, you can see they're looking into the fine with Alibaba and Tencent. You can see they're looking into that Huya merger deal. And yeah, I think when you look at it, you're probably thinking, well, you know, a stock for stock kind of merger when Huya is definitely more valued than what Douyu is. You know, you look at Tencent, you know, with the stake they have, are they doing it in their best interest? You know, forcing the deal through, where they kind of, you know, trying to, you know, not pay the right, you know, the right fee for this kind of merger. So yeah, you can see why this deal's getting looked into. Overall, in my opinion, at the end of the day, like I said before, the merger just needs to get done for us shareholders. Once this gets done, we know where we are, the stock will go from there. Let's not forget, Huya was on a good run before this merger was announced. The stock price was higher than the merger, you know? So I think if the merger was to go, it's not a bad thing because the stock was actually performing better without the merger. In the long run, with Douyu and Huya together, the merger does make a good thing for the company though. So either way, I would prefer the merger to happen now, especially when everything that's happened is what we've gone through. But if it was not to happen, it would still be fine. Because like I say, Huya, the share price was higher before this merger news came out. So yeah. Number 4, Hollywood Bowl. I was going to make a video on earnings, but the stock did nothing, and the earnings, there were no surprises. It was pretty much we knew like 2 months ago. And yeah, Hollywood Bowl, profit, which was great. Also profit in September and August, which is great. Obviously, there's a few problems now because of the tier system. That might affect it a little bit, but they expect to be at a good standard in about, I think it was February time. Cash, very good on the cash side, very good on the debt side. So yeah, there wasn't too much to report. I was going to make a video about it, but hey, it's pretty much everything from what I said in the last time I talked about Hollywood Bowl. So yeah, no big surprises really there with Hollywood Bowl, which is fine. And number 5 was Virgin Galactic, SPCE. Yeah, obviously they had some problems with their test flight that eventually ended up happening probably like 5 years later than what it should have done. But another problem again, you know, another fault with the test flight that happened. Stock's gone down quite a bit because of that. And, you know, how many problems can this company have? How many delays can it have? And I looked the other day and I was like, this company's like trading at 6 billion. And I was looking at the revenue and I was like, man, that fish and chip shop near me doing more revenue once again than another company that's traded at a billion value. It's absolutely insane, and this is my big problem. And people ask me, like, I think the idea is really cool and I can see the appeal, but at the end of the day, you know, you're buying a story, and you know they had a fault over the weekend with the test flight. But you know, what if this fault, and I hope it never happens, but what if this fault was bigger than that? You know, what happens if there was a major crash? It's going to kill the company. This is the big problem, and this is why I can't buy it. You know, it's a cool story, and I can see the appeal of, like, oh, let me put a big spec plane there. But apart from that, there's big problems, you know, and I do hope it works out for them. But you know, this is how of a fine line it is for Virgin Galactic, and I'm sure with Richard Branson's amazing history with Virgin Records and also Virgin Atlantic, you know, they've been really successful companies. But yeah, I'm sure that it could work out for them. But I just thought I'd talk about that because I know people do ask me my opinion on it. And once again, this is the whole reason why I didn't buy in the company. You know, it's a bit of a story, a crazy valuation for a company that does less than a local fish and chip shop. And you know, this is how fine lines it is from one major mistake that kills the company. So yeah, those are the 5 companies that I thought I'd do a little bit of an update about. I'm going to try and see if I do a video on the analyst day for Tattoo Chef. That might happen. I'm also going to try do a video on ChargePoint at some point as well. So I'll see if I can get that done as well for you guys. And yeah, those are the 5 companies that had some interesting news really over the last few days. So hope you enjoyed it. Smash the like button if you are new, subscribe, and I'll see you next video.